Couch Guy Sports Loose Change Podcast, episode number 56. We got myself, we got Jared, we got Connor. Connor's back on the show. And then obviously we got producer Pat, Big Pat in the background. You guys can't hear him, but sometimes he talks to us. And then sometimes if I stop, that's because I forget that you guys can't hear him. Connor, when's the last time you were on the show?
I'm going to say about 2 months ago.
It was a while.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
A long time.
It's been a damn while. I mean, we got a ton of stuff going down right now, and it's mostly, again, this is a week where I'm not really scrambling for too many topics. Well, I mean, I kind of am, because we just got to talk about the general stuff. It's a sports podcast. You got to talk about the normal crap. But just like the rumors flying around. And we're going to talk about that too, actually, once we get to the Celtics, one of the big rumors that's hopping around. And anybody watching the video stream, not in my normal room. This is my girlfriend's room. She lives in a luxurious area. I love this room down here. It is beautiful. Much better than my room. I live in a shoebox. She lives in a luxurious shoebox. So yeah, I mean, I want to start this off with this story, though. So last night, me and Pat, Jared, Connor, I talked to you guys about this briefly. Actually, Jared, I don't know if I talked to you about this. Last night, me and Pat got to go to WWE SmackDown in Providence.
Oh, yeah, I saw your Snapchats. I've not talked to you about this, though.
You texted me that earlier yesterday.
I was pretty legit show. And it was a good time. It was cool. I remember loving it a lot more when I was younger. Just because, when I was younger, I was so amped up about it. But just, watching these guys, I don't know if it's, the lack of, characters that they have anymore. Because, when I was watching it, they had some sick characters. I just don't think they have that anymore. But me and Pat were in the back. So we're on the floor, right? Which is pretty cool. But we're in the back row. And you couldn't see anything below, the second rope. So you'd see these guys go flying off the top rope. And then they would just disappear. And you couldn't see it. You couldn't see anything that was going on. And the crowd would just start going bananas. And let me tell you, I don't think there's anybody who's more passionate in the world than WWE fans.
I have never heard a more electric crowd in my life.
These guys were wild. Me and Pat are sitting there at one point. One of the woman wrestlers comes in, one of the divas, and then some guy behind us yells, "Hit her. Women have equal rights," or something like that. and me and Pat looked at each other like, What? What? And it was this guy. We sat in two different locations. The one had this guy sit in the back. He must have been 20 feet behind us. He was a professional heckler. He was okay. He was just yelling nonsense. And the vibe I got was that SmackDown sucked. Because nobody in that arena seemed happy with it. Everybody just seemed bored. At one point, they had a women's match going on, and the entire arena just started going, "This is awful." And I was like, these women are trying their hardest.
They're faking it like the rest of them. Come on now.
And they're getting paid a ton of money, though.
Yeah. Seriously.
Yeah, but regardless, everybody, they were chanting all that at them. It was pretty cool. They did go back in time, and they had a Jeff Hardy match.
Oh, shit.
I was a big Jeff Hardy guy. And the little I followed WWE, when he came back, he was this weird character. He looks like he's regular Jeff Hardy again. But that was the only match that I knew what was going on. I saw AJ Styles, and he used to wrestle, and he's back now. That was cool. But yeah, I mean, the highlight of this though was these fans. There was this one guy dressed full-fledged Undertaker who walked behind us. And, I think this is during the Divas match. Everybody's bored out of their mind watching this. And this guy dressed as full-fledged Undertaker walks behind us. And the whole crowd, the whole section behind us starts going, "Undertaker!" And this guy just, this guy buys it. He looks at the crowd. He's, pumping him up. He's like, "Ah! Let's go!" And then he walks by this tubby dude dressed as John Cena. Full John Cena. He's got the wristbands on. He's got the hat. He's got the "You Can't See Me" hat. He's got the "You Can't See Me" T-shirt. And he sees the Undertaker, and they start getting into character. And he starts calling out the Undertaker. The Undertaker starts calling him out. These guys are just schlubs in the fans. It was a wild time. It was the fans were nuts. And then we moved over to the second section. And then there was another guy who was just living just to like nobody seemed like they enjoyed themselves. Everybody they're like, "Hey, ref, end the match." And he just thought he was crushing the heckling game, and everybody was just like, "Dude, shut up." I was on TV at one point. You can see me. I was sitting in the seats that you can see on TV, and you can see me just like I'm just looking down into my phone. I'm watching the Sox game past 10 o'clock. I had to watch Shohei Ohtani versus David Price, which we're going to talk about. But yeah, no, WWE.
How did you end up there? Like, did you plan to go, or was it like last minute?
Pat and I got asked to go like last minute, so we went. And you know, I don't regret it. I do wish that it got over at 10 o'clock, not 11 o'clock. But hey, you know, you win some, you lose some, I guess. All right, weekly dump. Connor, have you been on since we've had the weekly dump?
I have not. No,
Ooh.
I've heard it.
It's been more than 2 months.
Oh,
it's gonna be his first weekly dump.
3 or 4 months.
All right, Connor, baby, this is the weekly dump. What's up? What's up, Connor? All right, Rob Gronkowski will be hitting the Kentucky Derby this year after buying a stake in Gronk the Horse Electric Factory. Reports have came out today that the Patriots are interested in Josh Rosen as quarterback, which I'm going to stop right here real quick. I hear that, but I also hear that the Patriots, like we've been just hearing that the Patriots have full-fledged interest in Baker Mayfield. So I don't know.
As well as the dude from Louisville, right?
Who? Baker?
The other quarterback. There's another one, Lamar.
It's like Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, who says he wants to be a quarterback, but if the Patriots draft him, I just feel like he's not going to end up being a quarterback. But, you know, who knows? Who knows? And Josh Rosen, that's the guy from UCLA, right?
Yeah, but isn't he like a projected like top 5 pick?
Yeah, they're saying he might slip though.
Dropping in the draft, yeah.
Why? Is he hurt or something?
I don't know why. I'm not a college guy. I don't know anything. I do not. Let me tell you, I do not give a damn about the draft.
No,
anybody tells you that they care about the draft who doesn't work in media is a damn liar or a hardo. Reports came out that it looks like the Spurs will not be trading Kawhi Leonard. We're going to talk about Kawhi Leonard later in the show. Big news today. Totally forgot this guy existed. Jose Batista signed a minor league deal with the Atlanta Braves. I forgot he wasn't on a team. I forgot nobody signed him. This is the same guy who was asking for huge money last offseason because he thought he deserved it. He had 40 bombs in 2015. I think like 28 bombs in 2016 and then 23 last year. Last year, he hit 23 home runs with a 203 average. The guy stinks. So, like, and that was one of the guys. Everybody's like, oh, Red Sox, we need power. Why don't you get Jose Batista? Good thing. Good thing we didn't sign Jose Batista. Reports came out today that the top running back in the draft, am I saying this right? Saquon Barkley? Saquon, right?
Yeah, you got
it. Saquon Barkley.
Saquon.
Reportedly has refused to publicly say that he does not want to play for the Cleveland Browns, which his camp wanted him to do. They wanted him to say that he would not play for the Cleveland Browns, but he does not want to say that. He has not come out. That's according to Sports Illustrated. Another Kawhi Leonard report came out saying that Leonard sometimes goes weeks without responding to any calls or texts from the Spurs. Connor, you're a big basketball guy. You seem to love the Spurs no matter what. We'll talk about this more later, but what the hell is going on with Kawhi Leonard?
To be honest, no one knows. He hasn't said anything. He hasn't came out to anybody, and it's kind of weird because we don't know.
Like a boy.
Seems like a what?
Seems like a boy.
Yeah, dude. Like it's just like no one knows what's gonna happen. I wish we would make a trade for him, but that means we'd have to give up Brown, Tatum. We'd have to give up a ton of stuff to get him. But our starting 5 would be unbelievable. Who knows? I think they're gonna end up trading him. I don't think he's gonna be on the Spurs next year. He doesn't want to be there. It's just a mess over there.
Yeah, which is wild because it just seems like that's one of those places that everybody wants to go.
Tim Duncan's not there anymore. No one wants to go there. Come on now.
This is a wild trade rumor. Report came out today that the Marlins at one point offered Hanley Ramirez and Giancarlo Stanton for Mookie Betts. You guys hear about that one?
I did, yes.
I did hear about that one, and I'm very happy they didn't do it.
God. Thank God they held on to them. Imagine if Mookie Betts was playing in Miami right now, which he probably would be playing in New York.
Would he still be playing in Miami, or would he be somewhere else at this point?
No, he'd be in New York right now, or he'd be with the Brewers.
Yeah.
That would, oh man, that would have sucked. NBA and NHL playoffs going on right now. I gotta say, the NHL playoffs haven't really disappointed. NBA playoffs have kind of been what everybody expected. The Cavs are struggling. As of right now, the Cavs are winning 84-76. Pacers got a 1-0 lead on the series. But the NHL series, in my opinion, has been pretty wild. So San Jose is up on the Anaheim Ducks 3-0. Nashville leads the Avalanche 2-1. Tampa Bay leads the New Jersey Devils 2-1. Pittsburgh over Philly 2-1. Golden Knights, their first ever series in the playoffs, sweep the LA Kings in one of the best goalies in hockey in Jonathan Quick. Take a 4-0. Take a 4-0 sweep like it's nobody's business. Winnipeg is beating the Wild in series 3-1. Caps over the Blue Jackets 2-1. And the Bruins, obviously, over the Maple Leafs, as we know, baby, 2-1 in this series. And we're going to talk about them more at the end of the show, too. So, honestly, pretty damn good series going on right now. My prediction, we'll talk about this again later on in the show. My prediction, Pittsburgh versus Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals. And it's going to be an electric factory. It is going to be wild. Patrice Bergeron, once again, a finalist for the Selke Trophy. And then we talked about this right before he hopped on the show. Maybe the best story of the week. Stormy Daniels' stalker sketch. So Stormy Daniels alleged that she had a stalker who was threatening her. And this all goes back to the Donald Trump case. Stormy Daniels' stalker sketch. And if you guys haven't seen this, Google it. It looks like Tom Brady.
To be fair, Connor said it before the show. It looks like a Mexican Tom.
Mexican Tom Brady.
It looks like a Hispanic Tom Brady.
Hispanic Tom Brady, yeah. It's pretty funny.
I saw that picture pop up because at this point I had no idea. I didn't see anything yet about it, and it popped up. I was at the gym, and then it popped up on the TV, and I was like, "What the fuck? Why is there a picture of Tom Brady?"
Do you think Tom Brady saw that on the news and he was like, "Oh crap, I'm a stalker now"? Like,
yeah. He's like, "Wait, how'd they get my picture?"
Yeah.
Imagine if he fled. Imagine if it was him.
That's why he hasn't reported yet, guys. Come on now.
True. He could just be stalking.
That's why he's in Qatar.
He's staying all the way to Qatar. Like, come on.
Now, and they did show Stormy's, I think, ex-boyfriend or fiance or husband or something. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if she made this guy up, but it also looks more like him than anything else. It looks identical. And we don't talk politics on the show, but like, I don't know if they're just trying to get to old Trumpy poo, but damn, like if she just like drew a random person, she made the face of her ex-husband, which is just ridiculous.
Oh, that's funny.
All right. You know what? Shout out to producer Pat real quick. We're going to roll over to the next topic. Pat has been hitting it hard with the production, the post-production. We've got swooshes now in the show, which we would have never had without Pat. Pat's crushing the production.
Very true. Very true.
Thanks
for the subtle diss there.
It's been this we just didn't have it before.
Yeah, and who was the producer before?
Yeah, well, yeah, you didn't do it before. I'm just saying, Pat. I knew you didn't have time. You just put it together. That was the whole thing. It was fine.
That's why I asked you for a producer.
Yeah, and you know what, Pat too. I don't know if you guys, obviously, if you're this far into the show, you've already freaking heard the the new intro. But Pat crushed the new intro too.
Mm-hmm. Did a good job.
Yeah, I heard that for the first time today. It was pretty good.
New intro song, fire. All right, roll over to the hot topics, baby. Red Sox team. You got to talk about them. Are they legit? Do you guys believe in this team? Do we think that they're actually this good? Because they're 14-2 right now, best start in franchise history. They have a team ERA. And when I say team, I mean bullpen. I mean starting pitchers. 2.82. Their top three starting pitchers, Chris Sale, 1.23 ERA. Rick Porcello, 1.83 ERA. David Price, even while giving up 4 runs in the first inning to the Yankees last Wednesday, 2.25 ERA. This team, pitching-wise, has been dominant. This team, offensive-wise, been pretty good. Pretty damn good. Now, the thing is, though, I just don't know if the starting pitching can hold up. That's my main concern.
Yeah,
I don't know if the starting pitching is going to be able to hold up.
I'm actually more concerned about the bullpen than anything. I think the pitching staff as a whole is a problem. Not a problem, but the main concern, because I still don't think you have an eighth inning guy. Apparently, Tyler Thornburg threw like 30-something pitches in a minor league extended game, whatever they call it nowadays, down in Fort Myers. So apparently his stuff looked good, whatever his stuff is, according to Alex Cora. So maybe he becomes your eighth inning guy. But that's the big problem to me, is how do you get to Kimbrel? I haven't had as big of a problem lately because the Red Sox offense has been blowing people out of the wall. Like when you win 10-1, you don't really need an eighth inning guy. So hopefully that's how they win the rest of the year. But they got to figure that out. Offense, I think, sustainable, because last year we talked about it. They just were underproducing the whole time. It wasn't like they didn't have the talent; they just weren't playing well. And now Mookie Betts is there. Xander's going to come back, hopefully better than he was before. And I think the pitching's the problem, if anything.
Listen. I want to give a shout out to me real quick.
No, okay.
Okay.
Let's just sit back, Connor.
Shout out to yourself.
Listen to the horn tooting here.
Shout out to Nick Quagg real quick, because I'm just saying, I wrote a blog yesterday about titled "Red Sox are gonna blow Shohei Ohtani out of the water," and then they blew him out of the water, and they had the best offensive game they've had all season.
And that was a fun game to watch.
I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but I am, because
Mookie Betts, 3 ding dongs, baby. All their runs were on homers.
Nick, I was texting you before you even wrote that article. Before I even knew you wrote that article, I was saying the same thing. I was like, Ohtani's only pitched 2 games against the A's. He's gonna get crapped on.
No. You read my article.
I'll give you the credit. I did read your article.
You owe me some of that money just for giving you that advice.
I won $16 off of it. Whatever.
You owe me at least 5.
All right, I'll buy you a beer.
All right. Okay.
That's a fair trade.
I'll buy you a beer. Even though I was thinking of betting on it before anyways. But the Red Sox, do you think they'll make a trade for a pitcher down the line? We have so many assets in the outfield. We can trade for...
No, I don't think they'll do anything. I don't think they're doing anything with this team. I think they're going to ride this team out.
They've got 7 starters right now. And, I mean, so we haven't even seen Drew Pomeranz yet, or
he's pitching this week. Pomeranz is pitching this week.
Is he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, we haven't seen those two. We haven't seen Pomeranz or Stephen Wright. And this team, the starters are all freaking fire.
Yeah, Velasquez and Johnson have been phenomenal the times that they've had to start. Even out of the bullpen. They both have come out of the bullpen, and they've been great in those roles too. So those guys will stay on the roster. But I can't see any moves being made because, 1, they don't have any prospects left. And 2, they just need everybody.
Shout out Dave Dombrowski for that.
Yeah, Davey D. Double D, nice job, big boy.
Hey, package them up. You put them in Amazon Prime. You ship them off.
Yeah, 2-day free shipping, baby.
That's what he does best.
That's what Big Dick did. He literally just packaged them up and he just shipped them off for whatever he wants. And like, my favorite part about Dave Dombrowski, side note real quick, we are never going to think about Michael Kopech again while we have Chris Sale on this team.
No.
You want to talk about a guy who panned out?
I don't think I'll even talk about Michael Kopech ever again, even without Chris Sale on this team.
Yeah, Michael Kopech to me seems like a nut job. And then you want to talk about that offense, though. And, it's not going to keep up. It's just not. It's not. There's no way that it keeps up the way that it has been. But Mookie Betts is hitting 389. And you remember, Mookie Betts said something, last year, beginning of the season, whenever it was, that was just stupid. It was so dumb. Mookie was like, I'll never be able to hit the same way that I did in 2016. A, you idiot. Why would you say that? B, you're hitting 389. You have 5 home runs. You hit 3 dingers last night. You're on track right now to smash that, and your slugging is 796, and your OPS is 1,289.
Stupid.
Listen.
That's video game numbers, right?
And see, I think the best part about it is, and I really think the huge part of it is letting him hit leadoff again. He loves hitting leadoff. And Sean Farrell made him hit third. Majority of last year, third or fourth, because they want, and no, he's a leadoff hitter. He loves hitting leadoff, and he's got his RBI chances. Look, how many times has he come up this year with guys from the bottom of the order waiting for him to get driven in? It's going to happen because this Red Sox lineup is deep, 1 through 8. He's
lucky too, because you're talking about the end of the lineup. Jackie Bradley, his bat's starting to heat up. He hit a monster of a shot last night. Mm-hmm. I was listening. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to that on the radio, and you heard that fucking crack of that bat. That was a monster shot from Jackie Bradley.
Wait till Pedroia comes back then too, because you got to think when Pedroia comes back, he's probably going to get what, the 2-hole again, back where he belongs. He's going to hit second. So then, what does that do to Benintendi? Does that make him hit fifth, sixth?
So.
No, 6. Yeah, and do you remember this? Because I remember this. Remember the beginning of the season, off season, people were like, "Oh, I don't think the Red Sox have enough depth," and I never understood that concept.
That's like the one thing they do have.
Yeah, you've had Brock Holt on the team. And back when we were having that conversation, you had Swihart still, you had Devin Marrero, and then you signed Eduardo Nunez. You literally have too many people.
Yeah, you really do. Because look, you think when Nunez comes back, he obviously won't be in the lineup every day when Pedroia is ready to go. But then you have behind, it's like it becomes Benintendi, Hanley, JD. Then you have Xander when he's back hitting fifth. Then you have Devers, Benintendi. Like you have these guys behind him. Like Benintendi's hitting like 6th or 7th. Like, and then you're deep through 8 or 9, especially if Nunez is playing. Like, this lineup is set. They're deeper than the Yankees lineup. They're not as powerful, but they are deeper than like Yankees offensive lineup.
Yeah, and shout out to my boy Lou Merlone too. He's been saying this on EEI for months now, talking about the Red Sox lineup. The Yankees preseason, they had Judge, Stanton, and Sanchez. 3, 4, 5. They had those 3 power bats. Everybody was scared of them, including me. And then, like, he was always like, what would you rather have? Those 3 and then a couple of, Didi Gregorius, I guess. Actually, Didi's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking good.
Didi's a solid cleanup hitter, and he doesn't look like one. So.
And then Brett Gardner. So, like, whatever. You have those 3, 4, 5 guys, and then you have Didi, too. But then you have the Red Sox, who are stacked from at least 1 to 7. Listen, if you're having a conversation about Benintendi being number 7, that is bananas.
Because he is a legit 2-hitter in this league.
Yeah.
Maybe even a 3. And on some teams, like the Oakland A's, he's a 3-hitter.
Yeah, and plus, you want to throw him at the bottom of the lineup too. I don't know if you would want to put him at 9, but if you do, but if you put him at 9, you give more opportunity because you know he's going to get on base more than Jackie Bradley. Okay. You know he's going to. Although Jackie Bradley right now looks like he's sliding into a big hitting streak, which is
this is the time of the year. This is the time of the year he does it. When it doesn't count, no one's watching the team because the playoffs are happening in every other sport. Like, this is the time of the year where Jackie Bradley shines.
And that's it too. It's like if he falls into that hitting streak, they're lethal top to bottom. Even Christian Vasquez, our guy, Jared, we can both claim him. We can father this guy.
I'm okay with that. I'll joint parent with you.
Christian Vasquez, oh thanks, baby. Yeah, Christian Vasquez, he's a monster. He is a monster. Not at the plate. He's a monster behind the dish. In my opinion, he makes some dumb defensive mistakes sometimes because he's so aggressive. He is so aggressive behind the plate defensively. But like, best thing about Vasquez is like he doesn't hit a lot of home runs. He just doesn't make contact too often. He's so good defensively. I'm fine with him hitting 250. But
it's like the Jackie Bradley syndrome. You give up the bat because of how good he is defensively.
And if you want to throw in Bradley and Vasquez together, they're both so good defensively. They're both okay to hit 250.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what they're both doing.
No doubt.
And another guy's bat who's coming alive is JD.
Oh, JD. But see, you knew he was going to, though. Like, were you ever actually worried about JD Martinez not hitting the ball?
Some people were, because that's
and they're morons. Dude can hit the ball. And you're seeing it now. Like, you saw, he got a piece of a couple that in cold weather, if they weren't going out. Put them in warm weather. Those balls are flying everywhere. Like, look, don't worry about JD until end of May, June. If he's not hitting, like, consistently then, that's when you start to worry. And he's already getting himself out of it. So don't worry about it, people. Stop being stupid.
If it wasn't the shittiest April of all time, so would he have 3 home runs right now? He'd probably have 6 home runs.
I was going to say, like, 6 or 7.
Probably... Because in 2, he's put some into the triangle too. So at other ballparks, that's going out. And you're not gonna. At the end of the year, you're not gonna be like, well, he had 35 home runs, but he could have had 38 home runs depending on the cold weather. Yeah. Just regardless, though, he's doing what you paid him to do, which is a breath of fresh air because ever since Poppy, like last season, there was zero power in this lineup. Zero power in this lineup. And it takes the pressure off of Xander Bogaerts, too. Because Xander Bogaerts was supposed to have some kind of power.
And
popping his
Hanley.
bat. And
It
Hanley,
takes pressure off the whole lineup, pretty much.
Hanley, too. And let's talk about Hanley real quick. Because I've been saying it since the beginning of the season, off season. Hanley does best, in my opinion, when he's engaged. You can't have this guy as DH. I love Hanley.
That's why he's been hitting better this year. Well, that he's healthy, but
and he's at first base. He's focused on the game the whole time.
And if you watch him closely, like when he makes picks out of the dirt, like there was one really earlier in the season, like beginning of the season, he like laid out flat on his ground. He's really good at that, like diving while keeping his foot on the bag.
He's a decent first baseman.
He's a pretty good first baseman. He's not Mitch Moreland, but like he's a pretty good first baseman. He gets jacked up. He's like Christian Vasquez. He'll get up and be jacked.
Yeah.
It keeps him in the game, so he has something to play for when he goes to the plate. And I'm convinced that that's what he needs. I don't know how long he's going to be here past this year, if not next. But for right now, guy needs to play first base. Moreland platoons in with him, plays in defensively. It's a match made in heaven. Sorry for our boy Sam Travis, but this is the way it has to be right now.
Man, RIP Sam Travis. It just looks like he's never going to get an opportunity. The guy's
not here.
Not here. You're right, but like
that would be who you have to trade. If you're going to trade somebody, it would probably be Sam Travis.
It'd probably be Sam Travis. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I don't really know who else you could trade or who else you would trade. I can't. I mean, you could honestly, and this goes in with another guy that I wanted to talk about, but just staying on the Hanley train. Remember, Hanley's got that option too. So Hanley's got to hit a certain amount of at bats this season if he wants that option to get kicked in, and if he wants to. He probably will. If he keeps hitting like this. The thing is with Hanley, you have to make it right now, and I think he understands this. You have to make it so Alex Cora looks stupid if he takes you out of the lineup.
Yeah.
That's what you have to do. Because if you're hitting right now and the Red Sox really don't want you to hit that threshold and really hit that amount of at-bats, then you have to make it so if Alex Cora takes you out of a game, it's obvious why he's doing it. Not because of your performance, but because they don't want you to hit that number and they don't want you to be able to vest that option next season. And by the way, shout out Alex Cora. Oh my God. He's a breath of fresh air. The guy understands baseball.
Yeah, he was on the Sports Hub earlier today. He was on with Tony Maz on the Baseball Reporters, the show he does out during the summer. And
Alex Cora was?
Yeah, Tony Maz grabbed him for an interview, which is sweet. And he got a contract with EI. Yeah, you can still do other shows.
That's probably not going to go over well. That's not
already happened. I don't
think he's supposed to leave EI.
Well, he did an interview with Sports Hub, so I hope he didn't just like hurt somebody's feelings. But they were talking. He asked him about
I'm just saying he's got a contract. I'm just saying that could cause some drama.
He asked him about like the Yankee situation, all the decisions he's made, and he owned up to everything. He was like, yeah, you know what, Tony, like leaving JD was a mistake. You know, I'm a rookie manager. I've been told 1,000 times, like, but I'm gonna learn from it. I'm gonna make my mistakes, and it's gonna happen. People just need to get over it. And like, I'm like, holy crap. Like he was spitting truth the entire time, and he's like, I regret what I said with the Yankee situation, but at the same time I don't, because I felt like in the heat of the moment I had to say what I had to say. Like John Farrell would be like, yeah, you know what, Tony, I'm worried about the offense and the way this team is playing. I don't care about that stuff, blah blah blah. It's a breath of fresh air, that's for sure.
Well, yeah, I mean, because last year you would have John Farrell, who like you would ask him one thing like, oh, how do you think David Price did tonight? David Price would be, and they'd ask David Price the same question. Price would be like, I had no command. I wasn't feeling good. Then they go over to John Farrell. He'd be like,
he had his best stuff of the year tonight.
Best stuff of the year tonight. Best stuff of the year tonight. He had great control, and you just be like, what is going on?
Get over yourself, John Farrell. Like, come on.
Hey, can we talk before we end this conversation? Can we talk about Zhu Wei Lin?
I love Zhu Wei Lin.
I love this dude.
People hated him, though. People were scared for him to come up and play for the Red Sox.
Which is crazy, because last year he was good when he came up.
Can we talk about why he's just not the everyday shortstop?
Because right now?
Well, he's the one that's been hitting.
Oh, so you want him to play over Xander. Okay, I get it.
No, yeah, of course I do.
Hot take, Jared.
You know me.
Hot take, Jared. Zhu Wei
Lin. I love Xander Bogaerts. Bye. See you. No. Why is he not playing? And this is terrible because Brock Cole hit a homer yesterday. But, like, he's been hitting the crap out of the ball, And I think it's just more this organization loves Brock Holt way too much. I wanted Brock Holt gone. I still want Brock Holt gone.
I love Brock Holt.
Brock Holt is not a starter. He should not be starting. He should be filling in. And Zhu Wei Lin has been consistent. He's a better presence at the plate. Overall, he should be there until Xander comes back, which is going to be like a week now. So it's almost done anyway at this point.
Yeah, what is it? I think maybe 8 games.
Not much less.
That he's gone by so far. So that's 6 max, allegedly. Oh snap! This is gonna be a tight game. Oh, Depot for 3. He wins it. Looks like the Cavs are gonna win this game. Anyway, Zhu Wei Lin, my guy, and Brock Holt. That might just be a clubhouse thing, okay? Because Andrew Benintendi's buddies. And it's not like the old days where you could just do things just without the players like in mind. You know what I mean? Like back in the day, Red Sox traded Nomar. That probably pissed some players off. If the players have a voice now, the players actually have a voice now. So if they say, hey, we kind of want Brock Holt to stay here. He's our guy, and he's good for the clubhouse too. That's probably a big reason as to why.
Probably the only reason why, because I know he actually is like really good in the clubhouse.
Yeah, no, exactly, and everybody loves him, and he's a funny guy too. I mean, I love him. Like when they were doing the emoji conversation with Andrew Benintendi, they said describe things in an emoji. They said Yankees. He just said poop emoji. He's just
that's hilarious.
He's a big kid, but he's the best. Him and Benintendi though both chopped off the flow.
I was pretty pissed off about that. Especially Brock Holt. That's his signature look, the flow.
Now I was pissed about the Benintendi flow more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, no, but
shout out. Come on, getting a girlfriend. Who does that?
Shout out Brock Holt, though, for looking like that was it. The first Yankees Red Sox game last week. Looking like a straight upper middle class white woman playing some squash. He looked hysterical. He was in like a full bodysuit, had a hood coming out. He had those goggles on.
Loved that.
He looked hysterical. I was dying when I saw the picture. I was pissed. I was out to eat, and I couldn't get a picture of him. I was so rattled. All right, next, real quick. Tom Brady. Story came out today. Adam Schefter, and it wasn't a big story, so it actually wasn't that hard to read. Adam Schefter comes out with a story today. Brady is not committed to the Patriots yet, saying that he'll come back and play next season. Now, listen, if you want to read into this, a lot of people are going to panic. If you want to talk to the hot take belief, it's people are going to be freaking out. First of all, does Brady have to talk to people? Does Brady have to tell Belichick like, "Oh, I'm for sure coming back"? Or
I didn't think so. It threw my mind for like they're like, "Oh yeah, he hasn't told Brady yet. Hasn't told the Patriots yet. He's coming back." It's like he has to do that. I kind of just thought it was a thing. Like, okay, we'll see you when I see you. Like, I'll be in Montana in July. You know where I'll be if you need me. Like, why is this a big story? I hate this as a story. Stupid.
They're trying to stir the pot and make it seem like there's more drama than there seems to be.
Like, the fact that Gronk, Edelman, and Brady are scheduled to be in Montana at that throwing camp in July, a couple weeks before camp opens. That right there should tell you they're going to play. Don't worry about it. Gronk might be making a little more money by then. Brady might have a new contract by then, but they're going to be on the field. They're going to come back and play with Jules, and we'll have at least one more year of Brady and the gang.
Yeah, and when you talk about the money too, are you talking about that random story that came out like later today that was like, oh, Tom Brady's looking for a new contract, or like that's why he's staying out? Because I just don't believe that.
No, I don't think he's holding out for the contract, but I think he's always looking for a negotiation for this contract. They do it almost every other year at this point. Like, if he's sincerely about playing 2-3 more years, they'll probably restructure the contract one more time, front load a little bit, give him some extra cash, and then be gone in the back end. It doesn't matter. Like, they have the money to give to him, and if it's front loaded, he'll just make some money now to play one more year in case he decides to hang it up after this year. And
we're gonna talk about the draft next week. Yeah. We're gonna have to get a guest for that too.
We'll figure it out.
Listen, if Brady pulls some shit, and if Brady backs out, I don't know if you kind of respect the move. If he does that and he backs out, crazy that he porked Belichick.
Do you think he really but see, Brady's not one to fleece like this. Like, a week before the draft, after they already had traded Jimmy G. Like, if he really was going to retire, wouldn't they have not traded him? Like, wouldn't he? I mean, and if they decided that, one, he's not leaving after the Super Bowl. He has that taste. He's gonna go out after losing to the Eagles like that. No, thank you. Especially when they have a team that could go back to the Super Bowl. Like, not a chance in hell. And two, he's not gonna fleece him a week before the draft. You're gonna tell him a little bit more of a heads up.
Well, yeah, that's why I'm assuming he's gonna come back. The guy's in Qatar right now, and that's another thing.
What is he doing? What is he doing in Qatar?
I think he's with
vacation?
Best Buddies, right? Is that
It's
what
a Best
doing?
Buddies thing. Yeah, he's got something going on with Best Buddies out there.
And he's done this before. People are acting like this is the first time that he's ever missed voluntary workouts. He missed 2008, 2009, and 2010s.
If they're voluntary and he's Tom Brady, do whatever the hell he wants.
And those workouts, all they do is just like give each other high fives and say what's up. They don't even do anything in those workouts.
And they lift weights, which he doesn't want to do. That's not what he's about anymore.
Yeah, he would just be next door the whole time at TV12 because Guerrero's not allowed inside anymore.
And that would go right up Belichick's tailpipe. Right up.
But the thing is, too, I think, isn't Guerrero like the main factor in all of this? Like,
he's got to be.
as soon as
Guerrero
Guerrero
might own part of the team one day.
Probably. Like, as soon as Belichick kicked him off the sideline and got rid of his office, didn't this all start to become a problem? Because Gronk goes to him, Brady goes to him.
Dante Hightower.
Dante Hightower goes to him. Edelman now goes to him.
Half the team.
Half the team was going to him. There was a situation, I forget what game it was, but Hogan walked off the field with Alex Guerrero, not a member of the Patriots training staff, when he was hurt. Like, that's not what Bill Belichick wants, but that's what the guys want.
Not at all.
That's the problem. Now, do you give Brady what he wants and just hit Guerrero back on the sideline for a year or two? I would, but I don't think Belichick will.
Yeah, in sources close to according to the story per Adam Schefter, sources are saying that if they had to put money on it, Brady would be back next season. But I think this is just a whole story about nothing. And you know, Adam Schefter obviously has to if this story falls in your lap, you got to report it, right?
But isn't even
Schefter.
What was he doing yesterday at 8:30 a.m.? Hey, have you heard from Tom yet? No. How come? I don't know.
He's not returning.
Oh, tweet. Oh, there's a tweet. He might not be returning. Yep, no one's heard from him. Like, it's all juiced up to what they want it to be. He'll be here for camp. He'll be in Montana, chugging the pigskin, going ATVing, whatever he does up there in the mountains, playing Mountain Boy, and he'll come back ready to go for another run at a Super Bowl championship.
Play him out. Ah!
Yeah, coming Tarzan.
The king of the world.
Jumping off cliffs, freaking us all out on YouTube videos. Like, geez.
The guy is a weirdo too, and he's been like, I don't know what his problem's been lately, but he's just turned into like such a hippie, and I don't even know if I like it. I think I hate it.
Hey,
I honestly think I hate it.
Maybe he's a different guy.
He flipped too far in the other direction.
No, yeah, exactly. Like he seemed like he was all about football, all aggressive before, and now he's all like positive vibes, baby. Nothing but yoga and bands.
How about my protein shakes in the morning? Yeah, man.
You eat tomatoes? That's disgusting.
Nothing. Who do you think you are, loving tomatoes like that?
Do you know about the acid in those tomatoes?
It's all about the pliability, baby.
It was
flexed out.
It was like when
Edelman, by my boy Alex Guerrero.
Oh my god.
That was I felt so uncomfortable. I was watching the Tom versus Time at work during that when Guerrero was going to town on Tom.
Oh, it's aggressive.
It was crazy. I don't know how he didn't shatter his femur.
You saw that it was pliability, baby. He was getting after it. He was getting Tom Limber ready to go.
It was crazy.
You just picture like Alex Guerrero in the Patriots clubhouse, like the Patriots locker room, just like with Edelman, Gronk, and Brady just lined up and just like going down the town like one after another, just rubbing them down.
Oh, it's probably happened so many times.
Oh, I'm sure it has. Or at least not the TV12 method institute, whatever.
And that was the same scene where his son walks into the room and he just kisses Brady on the mouth. And when I saw that,
like, Guerrero, give me a kiss, son. All right, I'm going back to town. Like,
it was. And listen, I don't care if he kisses his son on the mouth. I really don't.
Oh, we're not going back to this conversation. Come on.
No, I know, but it was excessive. It was. He kissed him once, and he was like, no, you come back here right now. And then
I ain't done with you, son.
Yeah, it was a little weird. But he can do whatever he wants. He's Tom Brady.
He's smacked it
Tom
up.
Brady. You are right about
people do a lot worse stuff, so yeah. He's fine.
All right, roll it over. So yeah, I mean, overall, okay, Brady's going to be back, you idiots.
For at least 1 more year.
Celtics shocking the world right now, or at least shocking Nick Quality right now. They're up 2-0 in the series. And listen, Connor, Jared, you guys do most of the talking on this. I have not watched either series. The first game, I don't know where I was. I couldn't watch it. Second series, I was
on Sunday.
at WWE SmackDown, so I also couldn't watch it. All I know is the Greek Freak sucks at free throws. Oh, and so this is what I know about the series so far. The Greek Freak sucks at free throws. The team has no fight. Literally, they just show up and like play pickup basketball. Eric Bledsoe is shook by how dominating Terry Rozier is on him. Terry Rozier thought Eric Bledsoe's name was Drew Bledsoe.
Wait, who's Terry Rozier?
And then
I don't know who that is.
And then Eric Bledsoe was rattled. He was like, I don't even know who the fuck that is. Talking about Terry Rozier. Yeah, buddy. You wanna know who Terry Rozier is? Terry Rozier is the guy who's been dicking you around this entire series so far, you ass clown. So okay, you two talk basketball. I got
It's just the Bucks have no bench, and it's just hilarious. I mean, they have Jabari Parker.
Like Jabari Parker's their sixth man, right? Jabari Parker, bad. Jason Terry.
I mean, he was good out of college, but then once he got hurt, he disappeared. He hasn't done anything. Thon Maker for their center, he played a minute the other day. Tyler Zeller. I mean, they have no bench, and that's why the Celtics are able to just take this team down. They're going to win in 5 games. If not, they might even sweep them. They just have no bench. Their head coach doesn't know what they're doing. It's just a mess over there right now.
I would say watching this series, the first 2 games, and I know they're home games. They're probably a little jacked up. Kyrie Irving's text messaging the team, getting ready to go. They could easily still go to the Eastern Conference Finals, especially seeing they're not going to have to face Toronto or Cleveland until the finals. They locked out. I mean, see what happens with Philly. If Embiid comes back, that's a whole different animal. But like,
but he's fucking sick and tired of being babied. That's what he posted in his Instagram stories.
But the way they've been playing,
basketball players are such bitches.
Everybody's a bunch of bitches.
No, imagine a hockey player posting that.
No, they wouldn't.
They wouldn't. No, just like
they would have played. They wouldn't have. Yeah, but Embiid's had so many injuries. They have to keep him out for.
Okay, because think about this year. They've already overachieved. Yeah. Like no one's expecting. They're the 3 seed.
They won 50 games.
Like,
that's crazy.
When was the last time the Sixers won 50 games?
Probably like 20 years ago.
Like when AI was on the team, probably.
Yeah. Somewhere around.
Here's the deal. They're gonna beat this. They're gonna beat the Bucks because the Bucks are garbage. Eric Bledsoe has caused them to spiral out of control, and Giannis can't beat the whole team. So they're gonna win this round, regardless if they lose a couple games here and there. It's a matter of who they play next. It's gonna be the Heat or the Sixers, and I'd rather you play the Sixers.
I'd rather play the Sixers too.
Because for some reason, I am freaked out out about the Miami Heat. I don't know why.
Then the Heat?
Because absolutely on that team. No, because playoff analytics on that team. Eric
playoff Kelly
is the coach. Playoff Kelly is ready to go. Dude, he's been playing well. And I'm not a fan of Kelly Olynyk. He's been playing really well.
No, I know
Wade as well.
Wade's going back to like 1920.
They got
Dwayne right now.
1920. Dwayne Wade's going back to the buggy cars.
Back when I was a young whippersnapper playing for the Miami Heat.
Back when the Red Sox were only on a 2-year losing streak.
they have Whiteside, who is a better center than I think anybody on our team. So
yep.
I think they have a better chance of beating the Celtics than the Sixers do. But the Sixers are also a good team, but I think they're just too young at this point. I mean, you can say the same thing about the Celtics, that they're too young, but I think we're just a better team.
But I also think that Marcus Smart is a big factor because he is coming back. Like, at this point, he is coming back, whether it's end of this series.
Man, prayers to his mom.
Or beginning of next. Oh, I know. Marcus Smart's mom has cancer. Like, crap.
Yeah.
But did you hear what she said, though? Because she said,
Couch Guy Instagram.
You need to come back and play. I want to watch you play. Like, that was her wish. Like, you need to get healthy and go play. I want to watch you play. So he will be back at some point. So think about next series. If we're looking past the Bucks here, which go ahead, who cares? Fuck them. It's the Milwaukee Bucks. Marcus Smart's a big factor in either one of those series. And without Kyrie, it's no fun. But like, it's still a fun team to watch.
Yeah, listen, I'll be honest with you here. Once Kyrie went down, I love the Celtics. I'll watch the Celtics. Once Kyrie went down, and a lot of it too for me because I'm a big hockey fan. once Kyrie went down, I was about 60-40 Bruins over Celtics, like what my preference would be. If the Bruins versus the Celtics were on TV, I'm going Bruins right now.
Well, now, yeah.
Yeah. And it's just been killing me. Like I'm kind of back on the train now because they're crushing it. Like, holy, Jaylen Brown dropping 30 points last night.
Well, think about what
That's
this team
amazing.
was expected to do, like beginning of the year, before the massive injury, right? Hayward, Irving, Horford.
What injury?
Finals.
Like,
Wait.
it's finals or bust.
Which injury?
Can you
The
beat
Hayward injury. Hayward.
Gordon Hayward has broken his
We
leg.
talked about
Gordon
Nick.
Hayward has
Yes,
broken his leg. Gordon Hayward has broken his leg.
Who's Gordon Hayward? Doesn't he play for the Jazz?
Oh, you still will
The
PTSD.
Jazz that are
I'm
killing it in
sorry.
the playoffs as well. But the Celtics,
Jay Crowder's great.
Jay Crowder. That kid's
Fuck
a
Jay
joke.
Crowder.
Jonas Jerebko, baby. Jonas fucking Jerebko, my boy.
I'm still rattled about just how different this team was than last year. You just say those names, and it's just insane.
Like, who's that?
This was last
Celtics?
year.
Who's Isaiah Thomas? Like,
Yeah,
who's
Tyler Zeller.
Tyler
I
Zeller, who's
think-
playing on the Bucks now. Like,
I think the Celtics could beat the Cavs in these conference finals if they
I
if
do
they can
too.
make it there. It's going to be a 7-game series, and if they had Kyrie Irving, they would easily beat them because right now LeBron's carrying this team. They won by 3 tonight against the Pacers. How many points did LeBron score? He scored 46 points.
they had 29 at halftime.
Holy shit, that's a lot of points.
You know
Yeah,
what this
but he's
reminds
the
me of,
only one on
Connor?
that team who
Connor,
can
this
do
reminds
it.
me of the year that he went to the finals, his first trip, and got swept. Like,
Yeah.
that team he had when the first stage around, he was on a garbage team.
He's gassed. LeBron James is gonna be gassed by the third series, by the Eastern Conference Finals if he makes it there. He's gonna have to put the whole team on his back.
I think even with a healthy Kyrie Irving, this team is hands down the favorite to go to the finals. The way they're playing right, you know what I mean? Like take back Gordon Hayward, you put a fully healthy team on this. They're the favorites by far to go play Golden State in the finals. And I think with Gordon Hayward, Kyrie Irving on this roster, you win the finals or have a really good damn chance at doing it.
Oh,
So-
I think you beat the Rockets, or it would be tough to beat the Warriors with Curry and Durant healthy.
Well, the
With everybody
Warriors are a
healthy.
good matchup, though. It seems like the Celtics always play good games against the Warriors. That's the thing is, I just want them to get there. I don't know if this year it'd be a blowout or not because they don't have Kyrie to play alongside, but normally it seems like every time they play the Warriors, they're a great matchup and they win some games they shouldn't be winning. And that's when you miss Kyrie is if you got there. But I don't think they'll get there this year. But the way they've been playing, I think with this roster, the way it is, with the talent they have still, and Average Al coming out to play.
Average Al being Big Dick Al.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
who do you think they're gonna lose?
He's whipping
who do
it
you
out
think
right
they're
now
gonna-
on those Bucks.
He's
Who do you think
dropping
they're gonna
that
lose to
hammer,
then?
baby, and I'm not talking about some dunks. I'm talking about his dong. I'm talking about his dick.
Oh,
The guy's been fucking lighting it up.
and it's great to see him doing
I thought
it too.
Connor was saying something. He just,
Well, I
he
was gonna say,
out.
who do you think the Celtics are gonna lose to? Do you think they're gonna lose in the Eastern Conference Finals to the Cavaliers?
No, to the Raptors.
You think they're gonna lose to the Raptors? Oh,
Dude,
no,
they don't play well against the Raptors.
they don't.
No, they
but
don't.
DeMar
No, but the
DeRozan
Raptors are also
smacks
the
around the
Raptors in the
Celtics.
playoffs.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they're running around like Wizards right now.
They're
Not a
killing
problem.
They are killing the Wizards right now, but the Wizards
Running
are an
around.
8 seed. They're the 8 seed for a reason.
Okay, but it doesn't
They're-
matter. Like Celtics
they're
still could barely
dysfunctional.
beat the Wizards. Like the Raptors are the worst matchup left for the Celtics. They, for some reason, even with Kyrie on the team, they weren't playing well against the Raptors. For some reason, DeMar DeRozan cannot be covered when he's playing against Boston. I think it is a Celtics Raptors Eastern Conference Finals. I think the Raptors are playing so well right now, and Cleveland will be gassed by the time they get to them. And at that point, it's 6 or 7 games. But I think the Raptors have home court, and that does it, right?
Well,
because
listen.
they are the 1 seed.
Yeah.
Listen, the Celtics are so beaten up right now. I'm not going to be shocked if they lose in the second round. If they get to the second round, which at this point, like, duh,
At
they
this
probably
point, they
will.
better.
Yeah, I just don't think that they're gonna be able
So-
to. I mean, like, I wouldn't be shocked if they lose in the second round. Who would they meet in the second round?
It's
The
Heater
Sixers.
Sixers. Heater Sixers.
I wouldn't be shocked if they lose to either one of those teams.
Really?
I just wouldn't. It's because they're beaten up. But I also wouldn't be shocked if they advance because the East is kind of weak. The East is kind of ass meat. Now let me ask you guys this.
It's not. It
Yes.
hasn't been that bad this year. It's been good.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, but
Better.
listen, if this Celtics team gets to the finals, the East is ass meat. Okay? That's the truth.
Hey, Pumpkin.
That's the truth. All right, Pumpkin? All right, Pumpkin? Let me ask you this before we we could talk about the Bruins for like a minute. I know Connor doesn't watch hockey, so Connor's gonna ask where you shoot the ball. Celtics Bruins. Who goes further?
Bees, because they're going to the Cup final.
I'm just gonna say the Bruins.
Absolutely. Damn it! I was hoping Connor was gonna be like, the Celtics, they might go to the finals.
Well, because I mean, I don't watch hockey, but I follow. I look at the scores. I read about it.
Connor, let me tell you, Bruins are hot.
I know. Well, I see that, dude.
And they got DeBrusk back, and they're getting Grizzly back. Rick Nash is playing. Like, Bruins are going to the Cup final.
They have a chance to win the Cup.
They have a chance to bring home the Cup.
The Celtics do not. Even if they reach the finals, they're gonna be out in like 5 games. Whoever they play in the finals.
What a segue. Let's talk about a minute.
Hop on that Seggy, baby.
Let's hop on that Seggy. Bruins up 2-1 right now. They just lost in Toronto. They won the first 2 at home. They porked the Maple Leafs in the TD Garden in Boston on Saturday night. I forget what the final score was. It was something crazy. It wasn't like 7-2 or something. It was a blowout. 7-1. It was a blowout. And actually, so I was at a bar in Boston. I was at Wild Rover in Boston right at the end of the game. And there was a Toronto Maple Leafs fan wearing full-out Toronto Maple Leafs gear, and he looks at me when I walk in, and he sees me wearing a Bruins thing, and he looks at me and just goes, "Please don't say anything. This is already hard enough." I was like, "All right, buddy, no problem." Bruins absolutely obliterated the Maple Leafs in the first 2 games. They had full control. Momentum probably swung back in the Maple Leafs' favor. We have now hockey is 2-2, 1-1-1, right?
Yep.
So we have one more game in Toronto coming up tomorrow night at 8:00, and then Boston, Toronto, Boston. If it were to get to that far, realistically, I think the Bruins win in 5. I think the Bruins take the next 2. They win tomorrow in Toronto, and they take Game 5 in Boston.
Yeah, I can't see them losing both games in Toronto, and then they're going to come home. And if they come home with a chance to clinch, they're not going to lose at home. Crowd's been too amped up. Team's been too good. Young guys are playing well. And your veterans who are tasked to lead are leading the way. This team is built to go the whole way. And I think, we touched upon it last week, too, with Mike Grinnell, the boy from Barstool.
Episode 55, Mike Grinnell, what's up?
Go back and listen to that if you haven't. But, look, it's going to be them in Nashville. I don't know how you can pick against them in Nashville at this point. The only other team that would even scare me out of the West would be the Vegas Knights because of the way they play.
Yeah, and they're just carrying so much momentum too. It's almost like they're just kind of destined to get to the
because think about the roster of Vegas, right? It's all the cast-offs that nobody wanted. What's their mentality?
Yeah, the best
fuck
part.
it. You guys all didn't want us. We're gonna go to Vegas and have a good time. Thanks. Bye. Like they're playing for absolutely nothing at this point. If they lose, who cares? Because it's already a one season for them. But everyone on that roster are older players and vets who have won or have close to winning before. They all want to win the Cup, and they all think they can.
Listen, the scariest part to me is Tuukka. Because Tuukka has, you know my feelings about Tuukka Rask. You can go back in my Twitter timeline. If you just search @NickQuag and then Tuukka,
it's a lot to come out.
It's just either me shitting on him or asking him to marry me because he is so wishy-washy. I mean, so far through the playoffs, he's been hot. He's been very good. And I'm not even going to put the blame on him for that other night loss because realistically, I mean, the 4th goal, I'm not going to say it was a garbage time goal, but the game was kind of winding down. And that was it too. Toronto needed that game, and Toronto played their asses off. Tuukka's been playing excellent. But here's something else that scares me. The first line in Toronto 2 nights ago, they got smacked around. Marchand, Bergeron, Pasta. They got shut down by Toronto's defense. I hope they can bounce back tomorrow.
The biggest thing is the last change factor. When you have home, you have the right to make the last change when you're making switches, and that's get you the matchups you want, right, if you don't know hockey that well. But I think they'll be okay. I think the other game was pretty manageable, and they just kind of let it slip away at one point. But
Adam McQuaid scored a goal.
Yeah, I mean, if he even plays next, does Adam McQuaid play? Right, if Grzelcyk comes back, that's the big question. This team is going to win the next 2 games, and I'd be shocked if this goes past 5 games. I think it's an underachievement because of the way they've been playing.
And who will they play next? Who do you guys think they play next?
It depends. Probably Tampa Bay.
You're not scared of Tampa Bay?
No.
Oh, they
No.
own Tampa all year.
Not at all.
They have
Oh,
owned
fuck
Tampa's ass all year.
They will.
How many times did they only lost once to Tampa, right? Quacks this year?
I think they went 3-1 on the series. They would take Tampa Bay and bend them over the couch, and just go. They would just go to town on them. It was. Yep. Tampa's one of the teams I'm just not worried about. They're a very good team. They're very quick, but just the Bruins have their number this year. And just look at this. Look at the Bruins team. Connor, let me explain something to you. All right, buddy? Sit down. Get on. Get on old Nicky Quagg's lap. All right, let me tell you a story.
Ooh.
The Bruins.
What do you want for Christmas there, Connor? Tell Grampy Quacks.
Bruins first line. Okay, it's got 330 goal scorers.
That's it.
Got Patrice Bergeron. Probably going to win the Selke Trophy. The Selke Trophy, Connor, let me tell you, it's the best defensive forward. He's great on defense. He also he's also incredible on offense. He's the most underrated player in hockey. Everybody respects the hell out of him. He's one of the top players in hockey, but nobody talks about him like that because everybody wants to suck Sidney Crosby's D. Then you got Brad Marchand, a.k.a. the Rat. You ever hear of him? Everybody hates him. All the fans hate him. Boston fans love him. He's gritty. He likes to hit. He makes a lot of stupid decisions, but he's a 30-goal scorer. He's a guy you need on the ice. Sure, at the end of the game the other night, he did exactly what we expected him to do, and he pulled something stupid when you needed 2 goals to win the game, and he ends up in the penalty box to end the game in the last 2 minutes. So, yeah, Connor, that's what Brad Marchand likes to do a lot. But he plays really well when he's on the ice. He's just got to keep his head out of his ass. And then you got David Pastrnak, who's one of the most skilled offensive players in the league. Sometimes he goes on cold streaks, but if he gets hot, he's excellent. And he's hot a lot. Just occasionally he'll fall into cold streaks. And then, Connor, you know who Charlie McAvoy is?
I've heard about him.
He's a rookie.
He's
a rook. He sits back on the defense with Zdeno Chara, who's doing those bands. He's doing that pliability-ish. Zdeno Chara looks like he's 29 years old again. Charlie McAvoy is 20 years old or 19 years old, whatever he is. He plays excellent on that whole first line that I just read off to you might be one of the best in hockey. And you know what the best part is, Connor?
What's the best part?
Tell me, Nick. Second line has Rick Nash.
Rick Nash?
Rick Nash.
Oh, my God.
The best offensive players in hockey. That's the
second line.
Who complements
with David Krejci?
Connor, this team's good. Team's real good at hockey.
It sounds pretty fucking good.
But as Steve Peralt said on our show 2 episodes ago, get that puck deep. Get that puck deep. That's all you got to know about hockey. If you're ever watching with people, you want to impress a girl who likes hockey, just get that puck deep. Say that, and they'll be like, "Ooh, Connor."
Oh well, I'll have to try it. Put that puck in deep, or
no, get it in deep. Just
get it in deep.
Say, get that puck deep. Get that puck
in deep.
Get that puck deep.
Get that puck in deep. Get that puck in the back of the net.
So you're saying ice? Oh, okay. I don't know if you're saying like ice in the puck or.
Yeah. Also, big thing for the Celtics. I mean, the Bruins too. It's been a couple days. They've had a lot of time to recover, so the team's just going to be fresh. They're going to be ready to go tomorrow night. They're going to win that game. Then they're going to win in Boston. Then they're going to move on to round 2, kick Tampa Bay right in the ass. That's all I got for the Bruins right now. That's all I got for the Bruins. You got anything else, Jared?
Nope.
Connor, you got anything else on the Bruins?
Bruins? No, I'm all set.
Hot take, Connor Strayer.
The Bruins are good. I'll say that. They're good.
Bruins are fire, baby.
That's my hot take.
The Bruins are good at hockey.
the Bruins play hockey in Boston. Hot take. Yeah.
Boston Bruins are pretty good.
Anything else to finish the show with? Okay, sick. Couch Guy Sports Loose Change Podcast, episode 56. In the books. Next week, we're going to talk some NFL draft. We're going to have a guest on. I can't tell you who. I would like to get Tom E. Curran on the show, but we also have some other great guests that we can line up too. But the only reason I'm saying Tom E. Curran is because we've never had him before, and I would just like to get him on the show. Couch Guy Sports Loose Change Podcast, episode 56. That's it. Close up the books. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, likes on Facebook, SoundCloud at Couch Guy Sports. Same thing on Twitter. Rate and subscribe. Rate and subscribe on iTunes is huge, baby. Just spread the word of the Loose Change Podcast. Follow us on Twitter, the Loose Change Podcast at Loose Change Pod. And is that it? Oh, you can also catch all of our podcasts on clnsmedia. I believe that's it. Couch Guy Sports Loose Change Podcast, episode 56. That's it. Thanks for listening. Have a good rest of your night, you MFers.